So we will start the new module, inflation. What is inflation? You can write one line there. It refers to persistent increase in the general price level. It refers to persistent increase in the general price level. So persistent means, see for example, this pen is 100 rupee today, tomorrow it is 150. That doesn't mean inflation. Abrupt price increase we are not talking about. Persistent increase, that means over a period of time. So it will be measured like over a period of 1 year, or it could be measured over a period of 1 month, like that. Okay. So persistent increase. And price level means what? Average prices. Not only one pen price is increasing, we cannot say that is inflation. Average price level. So if you remember, I've told you this is a macroeconomic concepts, and when we discuss about this demand supply curve, we will talk about aggregate demand from here onwards, aggregate supply, and here we will go for price level or average prices, and here national income. So this is how we are going to draw the graphs or demand supply curve now onwards. Okay, so just write one more line. It refers to increase in average prices of goods and services. It refers to increase in average prices of goods and services in an economy over a period of time. Over a period of time. Okay, see, in another way of explaining this inflation is actually the value of money coming down. Instead of, now what we are saying is the price of goods is increasing. Instead of saying that, the value of money is coming down, or the value of goods is actually increased. Okay, so that is another method of expressing inflation. Write one more line. It is a situation in which too much money is chasing too few goods. Too much money is chasing too few goods. I have given you example already. If you remember, let's say 1000 rupee is there in the market, and let's say 100 goods are there. So if this 1000 rupees chasing 100 goods, so the cost of one item will be 10 rupee. Correct, no? So 1000 rupees there in the market, 100 goods are there, so 10 rupee. Now let's suppose money supply is increased. It could be because of anything. I have explained in the case of deficit financing, but money supply is increased. It can be related to forex increase, or anyway money supply increased, and let's suppose now in the market instead of 1000, 1400 is there. So but the goods remain the same. In that case, 1400 rupees chasing the same goods. So what will happen? The price will go up to 14. So we can express in any, this is what the inflationary situation. So that's why I told you deficit financing will definitely lead to inflation, because deficit financing will ultimately increase money supply. So when money supply is increasing, we can say inflation is there. Automatically you can say the value of money is coming down. Okay, so that is another way of interpreting inflation. The value of money is coming down. So just write one line over there. It reduces value. In bracket you can write the real purchasing power of money. Real purchasing power of money. Okay, so how is it actually happening? You can see here, earlier it was 10 rupee. Now it is 14 rupees. So what happened? You need to pay 14 rupee for the same item. So actually the purchasing power is coming down, right? So your salary may not change to this level. This 40, here you can see around 40% increase. Your salary may not increase 40%. So what will happen ultimately? The purchasing power will come down. Now what was the logic behind demonetization? For example, the same case, 1000 rupees there in the market and chasing, let's say 100 goods. So what is the price of one good? Let's say 10 rupee. The idea of demonetization is some section, let's say 20% is black money. So when you demonetize it, this 20% will not come back. That is expectation. So that will make a sterilization effect. The fake currency, the counterfeit currency, the black money, everything will go, and 800 will be there in the economy. So 800 will chase 100 goods. So it will cost 8 rupee per good, right? So what I told you here, the purchasing power will increase. So why government went for demonetization? By, first of all, it is related to black money. By removing black money, what is actually going to happen? The purchasing power will increase. And who will benefit the maximum here? The poor will benefit the maximum. Because even there is a small change in their fluctuation in prices, the life of poor will be drastically affected. Because their expenditure, the poor person's expenditure is maximum on elastic or inelastic items. Can somebody tell me this? Poor man's expenditure is on elastic or inelastic, essential or luxury? Inelastic, right? So their demand is inelastic, so it is going to affect them very badly if there is a small increase in price, and if there is a decrease in price, that will benefit them the most. Okay, so that is the idea. By removing this black money, you can reduce the money supply, and the purchasing power will increase, in not only in case of goods, in terms of real estate and everywhere. This is what actually expected, but that never happened. The reasons also I've told you in the discussion. Okay, now give a heading. So I hope you understood what is inflation. It can be interpreted in any way. The value of money is coming down. The value of money in 2000 and value of money in 2020 is not the same, right? So now you give a heading, types of inflation. Types of inflation. First one, two types are there. First we'll discuss demand pull inflation, and then we talk about cost push inflation. So first you give a heading, demand pull inflation. Demand pull inflation. So this name itself will tell you what is this inflation, right? It is created because of excess demand. The inflation which is caused due to the excess demand in the market. So you can write there, it is caused due to increase in aggregate demand in the economy. Increase in aggregate demand in the economy. It is caused due to increase in aggregate demand in the economy. You can simply write AD, aggregate demand in the economy. Why this aggregate demand is increasing? What is the reason for this? What is the reason for this? Because purchasing power is high, so your demand will increase. Why purchasing power is high?
Money supply is high.
Money supply is high. So to solve this problem, demand pull inflation, what you need to do? You need to reduce demand. How can you reduce demand? The root cause is money supply. So you need to reduce money supply. So this is a solution for this inflation. You have to reduce money supply because it is caused due to demand, and demand is because of money supply. So if you need to control this inflation, reduce money supply. And how can you reduce money supply? You have different monetary policy tools with RBI. What are they? You have CRR, you have SLR, you have repo, reverse repo, marginal standing facility, bank rate. All these are there. So what RBI will do with these rates? Increase or decrease? Increase the rates. We have discussed already all these points, and anyway I'll discuss this in detail later also, but let's try to understand this demand pull inflation in detail here. You can make this diagram like what we normally do. This is the aggregate demand and this is the aggregate supply. So x-axis you will go for national income, or you can go for national expenditure also. I've told you income and expenditure you can express in both ways. Okay, so I've told you the method in which you measure the national income method, expenditure method, etc. we have discussed. So both you can write. And here average prices or price level. So this is a normal situation what we have drawn now. Now we are talking about a case where demand is more, right? So demand pull inflation. So what we need to do with the demand curve? Rightward or leftward? What we will do with the demand curve?
Rightward, sir.
So we shift the demand curve rightward. So you can show that right. I'm not able to draw it properly here. You can show that rightward shift properly. You draw like this. Okay, and then you can see the point here that it is touching. This is a new point. So the price is actually increased because of demand. Okay, what is the good thing here? Can you see this diagram and tell me what is a good thing in this?
So national income is also increasing.
National income is also increasing. You can see here national income is increasing. That means the inflation is actually coupled with the growth. When demand is more, the production will be more. So national income is increasing, but at the same time price will go high. Okay, so this is a positive impact, and this is what we have discussed already, the monetary policy dilemma. If you try to control inflation, the price will come down. You can reduce money supply. I'll show you in a different this one. So you see, when you go for this decrease in money supply, what will happen? The demand will come down. So demand curve will shift leftward. So you can see the new point here. The price is coming down, right? Price is coming down. What is the problem? National income is also coming down, which is not desirable, because that lead to a lot of other issues like unemployment, poverty. All these issues will be coming along with that. But what is the priority for RBI now? Inflation targeting is the priority, especially after Urjit Patel committee. Okay, we will discuss about those committees, monetary policy committee, Urjit Patel committee, everything in this module itself. Will cover that. So is this clear? Demand pull inflation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you can write the causes of demand pull inflation. Causes. First one, what is the most important cause? What create demand?
Money supply.
Money. So increase in money supply. So can we say income is the reason? Income or money? Which one is better to use? Increase in income or increase in money?
Income.
Which one is better?
Money.
Tell me which will create demand in the market. Is it income or money? Which will create demand? That means only if you earn you will spend. Otherwise you won't spend. You won't borrow and you won't spend. Which one will create demand in the market? Money or income?
Money supply, sir.
Money. It is money will create income, demand, not income. Even if you don't have any income, you will keep on spending it, at least by borrowing, or you have to spend it, right? So it is the money which is the reason for demand. It is not income. You may say when income increase, people's demand will increase, but the ultimate thing that you need to discuss here is all related to money. Okay. So first one, money supply. Increase in money supply. That is the most important reason. Second one, I've already told you this point, increase in forex. Increase in forex. How increase in forex will lead to demand pull inflation? Can anyone tell me this?
Because RBI will have to print equivalent.
Yeah, when there is forex, RBI will have to print the equivalent amount of currency, or the existing currency RBI have to circulate in the market. The forex is coming, it is basically getting circulated in the market. So what will happen when forex is increasing? Automatically money supply will increase. Then this comes. When money supply increase, automatically demand increase. Okay, then that lead to demand pull inflation. So increase in forex, that create money supply, that create demand, and that lead to inflation. So you will get options, which among the following is the reasons for this particular inflation. So increase in forex is one of the reason why it create money supply. Third one, can I say deficit financing?
Yes, sir.
Already I have shown you, I have demonstrated how is it actually working out, right? So you can write deficit financing. Deficit financing means government simply printing the money and circulating in the market. So obviously circulating in the economy, so obviously money supply will increase. Okay, so deficit financing is highly inflationary and is not at all desirable. This is not at all desirable. We will talk about FRBMA 2003, in which a deficit financing is not allowing. So now we don't have any deficit financing. RBI is not printing just like that and circulating. Okay. Fourth one, reduction on direct taxes. Reduction on direct taxes. How is it creating demand pull inflation?
If income increases means spending is also increases.
So when the income remain the same, no, here I'm talking about direct taxes in decrease. See, income,
So disposable
disposable income, yeah, disposable income and income is different. Income minus taxes is your disposable income. That we have discussed already, these concepts in national income. Concepts related to national income, if you can turn back your pages, you can see that. So YD will increase, disposable income will increase, that lead to aggregate demand, increase in aggregate demand. So that lead to inflation. So here disposable income will increase. That means the income that you have for spending will increase. Okay. Fifth one. Now this is very simple. All these again I've told you many times, this is economy, this is social science. So even if you see climate also, it can be a reason. It can be a reason, not necessarily, but it can be. So you need to see the tone of the question and tone of the option. So can I say population? Population.
Yes, sir.
Population is one reason. So you can write population. What about increase in black money? I have already given you the illustration.
Yes, sir.
Increase in black money means what? Automatically money supply is increasing. Okay. So you can write there increase in population, increase in black money or fake currency. Can I say income? Increase in income is inflationary. Can I say this? This should be your option. Answer choice, it will be there. See, you will get answer choices like, okay, I'll give you answer choices. Which among the following create is the reason for demand pull inflation? Money supply is there, forex is there, disposable income is there, income is there. So you will go for all the four? Or tell me whether income create a demand or not, or demand pull inflation or not.
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Sure, sir.
Yeah, Anita, can you tell me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Increase in income can increase the inflation.
See, income increase will not be inflationary. The reason is, when you say increase in income, it is all about production, right? Income is related to what? Production. So whenever we are talking about income, there is a production. So what is income? If you remember, I've told you factor income is the income is understood in terms of factor income. It is coming through factor inputs like land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, right? So we have discussed this. So whatever income is generated, equivalent production is there. That means equivalent value addition is already done. So income increasing means that much supply is there. Okay. For example, 10% income is actually increased in the market, 10% supply is there. Without the supply, this income will never increase. So without value addition, this income can be created only through value addition. So when income is increasing means supply is there. So for example, here I'll show you one diagram. Let's say you are saying income increase by 10% and you are saying demand will increase by 10%. Okay, so this is a normal situation. This is a normal situation. So this is aggregate demand, this is aggregate supply, and this is national income, this is price level. So this is a normal situation and you are saying income increase, obviously 10%, so 10% demand increased. That's what you are saying. But at the same time, what will happen with the supply? 10% increase in demand means 10% value addition, equal amount of value addition is done. So supply is also increased by how much? 10%. So you can see the new meeting point, that is this point, and if you can connect it, is that inflationary? No. So income is value addition. That means not inflationary. Okay. And the good thing is that obviously national income is also increasing because it is showing the production. Income increasing means showing the production. Income increase means value addition. Income is all about value addition. Income is all about production. Production means supply. So demand is there, equivalent supply is there. So income is not inflationary. So that's actually a trap here. If you see this question, I tell you 99% of the students will go for this. But technically, increase in income will not lead to inflation. But obviously, money supply will lead to inflation. Money supply and income both are entirely different concepts. That I hope you might have already understood because we have discussed a lot about money supply in the previous chapter. Clear? I just basically want to explain this point only. That's why I have spent this much of time. So income increase won't be inflationary. That has to be clear. Next point you write, increase in government expenditure. Increase in government expenditure. So obviously increase in government expenditure, it could be through various social sector schemes, MGNREG, etc. So one of the World Bank study says the reason for food inflation in India is actually MGNREGA. Okay, because this made people, or this gave money to people, this increased money supply, and now people started demanding protein foods, etc. even in the villages. That's the reason why food inflation in India. This is a World Bank study. So is it a positive or negative?
Positive.
It is a positive. See, our Millennium Development Goal is actually to remove hunger. It is actually helped in removing or alleviating hunger. So it is actually considered positive, and in fact World Bank recommended some other countries also to go with this kind of initiative. Okay, so what I'm saying is government expenditure increase, money supply increase, so people have the purchasing power and demand will be more, and that is reflected in terms of food inflation during 2014, 15, 16. Persistent increase in price you can see in this items, protein items especially. Okay, milk, egg, etc. So that is inflationary. One more you can write which is connected to this only, but both are different, connected to this. Increase in budgetary deficit. Increase in budgetary deficit. Increase in budgetary deficit. That we will discuss in detail when it comes to budget. Okay. Next point you write, increase in imports. Increase in imports. Oh, sorry. Not increase in imports, increase in exports. Increase in import is opposite one. Increase in export. So can somebody tell me how is it going to affect inflation? How increase in export?
This will lead to increase in forex.
Yeah, when there is an increase in export, this will lead to increase in forex. So now that connection is ready. Increase in forex means money supply increased. Money supply increase means purchasing power and aggregate demand increase. So that lead to demand pull inflation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what about the next one, decrease in imports. Decrease in imports. Now this is slightly contradictory or controversial also. So decrease in imports. So will it affect demand pull inflation? Or can it be the reason for demand pull inflation?
So
Yes,
this
sir.
will remain in the economy only.
I didn't get you.
Sir, I'm saying money will remain in the economy. So the supply will be more.
Yeah. So when you decrease imports, what will see, this is decrease import is actually desirable. We are talking about decrease import and increase export, etc. This is actually considered very much desirable. But when we are discussing as a cause of inflation, when we stop importing, what will happen? The money will not go out. If you are importing, you need to pay in terms of forex. So the money will go to RBI and RBI will pay the dollar or whatever it is, right? So actually from the market, money will be sucked out. So some money will go to RBI and it will be there and will be paid in forex. So now when you are not importing, or if the import is reducing, means money will remain in the economy. So that lead to increase in money supply, or money will remain in the economy, that is inflationary. Otherwise, if you import, it would have been with RBI, so that would not have that inflationary impact. In that context, you can say. Okay?
Excuse me, sir.
Tell me.
Can we see it in the other way that, sir, actually for the inflation we are thinking, as you have defined in the starting, that too much money is changing too few goods.
Yes.
Okay. Now, can we say that decrease in imports means some more goods are remaining in our market only, as they were planned to go outside?
No. Decrease in imports means less good only will remain. More goods are not coming.
No, sir, we are talking about import substitution, means we are producing more. That is why we have reduced our import.
No, not necessarily. We cannot take too much assumptions. That is, you are making an assumption here. Here I am talking about only 1 point decrease in import. It could be due to any reason. It is not necessarily due to self-sufficiency.
Okay.
Okay, so we can't conclude that. That is different thing. We cannot make any such assumptions.
Okay, sir.
So in that context, I am just saying this is one of the reason. Decrease in import is one of the reason.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Yeah. So simple reason is whenever you import anything, whether it is gold or anything you import, what is actually happening? You need to pay in terms of forex. So forex is going. That means opposite of this. That is what you need to think. So here, opposite of that. Yeah, tell me.
so in the last module you discussed market stabilization scheme, right? So this measure to curb this kind of inflation is a decrease in imports. Does RBI exercise this kind of scheme like market stabilization scheme?
Market stabilization scheme, I have talked about this context. When the forex is actually increasing, the inflow of forex is increasing. It could be through increase in export, or it could be through incoming of FDI, etc. All these because of quantitative easings that is happening in the European and US, etc. I've told you about that quantitative easing. So because of that, a lot of money is pumped into the Indian market. So forex will increase. In those situations, when money supply increase, RBI will suck out money. That is what market stabilization scheme.
Exactly, sir. So if there is a decrease in imports, there will be excessive forex, right? So again, that's a different example.
Not decrease in import doesn't mean that excessive forex. Because
If we are not importing, we are not paying in dollars, so we'll have excessive.
that is what I have told you, that lead to inflation. We are not paying in dollar, so that may be inflationary. But in this context, we don't want to do, RBI don't want to do anything by buying or selling bonds or anything. In this context, you don't want to do.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So the existing forex is because of this, no? So that you need to control. Ultimately, you can say to reduce the forex only, that MSS market stabilization scheme is there. Ultimately, to reduce forex, decrease forex, not decrease forex, the inflationary impact which is created by the incoming forex.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah. So next one more point. What if I am saying depreciation of rupee? Will it lead to inflation? Depreciation of rupee. How it lead to inflation?
So depreciation of rupee mean increase in exports means exports, sir.
So when depreciation of rupee is there, export will increase. At the same time, what will happen with import? When rupee is depreciating, see, rupee depreciating means what? This is a situation, no? Let's say this is demand for dollar, and this is supply of dollar, and this is a price of dollar in terms of rupee. And we have seen, let's say this is 65, and rupee depreciating means it is basically because of demand of dollar. So let's say it became 70. So 65 to 70. So in export will increase. Why? Because for $1 you are gaining, now you are getting 70, earlier 65. So export will increase. Now when you are importing, earlier for $1 you need to pay 65, now you need to pay 70. So will you import more?
No, sir.
So import will decrease. So both will happen together during the time of depreciation of rupee. Like I have told you this separately, export increase will lead to inflation, import decrease will lead to inflation. Both together happens during the time of depreciation of rupee. So that is again inflationary. Okay, any doubts?
Also an example of reducing the purchasing power of the economy, right?
Which one? This one?
Yeah, this one.
Yes. Okay, so that's about demand pull inflation. Then next is cost push inflation. Cost push inflation. You write one line there. It is caused due to.